Hello students, welcome to our first lesson on trigonometry. I hope you are all doing well. Better. Now, let's begin our lesson. Now, trigonometry is a very important topic in mathematics, and we should attach all seriousness to it in our studies. In fact, it is one of the main branches of pure mathematics. More so, if you are a high school final year student and you are preparing for a high school math examination, final year to be precise, and you don't revise on trigonometry, you have not fully prepared. So to be fully prepared for a final year mathematics examination in any high school, you have to go through trigonometry. You have to revise on the topic. I hope you get it. Good. So, we'll lay a solid foundation in this lesson and then build on it as we progress. Okay? Good. So now let's begin. Now, trigonometry, it's a word coined from two Greek words. That is trigonon. Trigonon, which means triangle. Okay? Trigonon, which means triangle. And then metron. Metron, which means to measure. Metron, which means what? To measure or measure. Okay, so trigonometry was coined from these two Greek words, trigonon, which means triangle, and metron, which means what? Measure. So putting these two words together, we can simply say that trigonometry is a measure of triangles. Okay, trigonometry is a measure of triangles. Alright, so now let's look at the technical definition of trigonometry. Good. So we have here trigonometry. It's a branch of mathematics that studies the relationships between the length of sides and the angles of a triangle. Let me take it again. So trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that studies the relationships between the length of sides and the angles of triangles. So the length of sides. The length of sides and what? The angles of what? Triangles. Okay, so we are to study the relationships. So these are the key words in the definition. So we are to study the relationships between the length of sides and the angles of triangles. I hope you get it. So what then? It's a triangle. So from your knowledge in plane geometry 1, what is a triangle? Okay, so let's look at what a triangle is. Good. So a triangle is a closed plane figure bounded by 3 straight lines with 3 angles. A triangle is a closed plane figure bounded by 3 straight lines with 3 angles. Okay, so which means every triangle has 3 straight lines. Okay, and it also has what? 3 what? Angles. Okay, and it should be what? A closed plane figure. A closed plane figure. Okay, so that is what a triangle is. Now, can you identify one when you see it? Can you identify a triangle when you see it? Okay, So what are some of the examples of triangles? Tell me some of the examples of triangles. I'm listening. Okay, so let's check whether what you said is right. Good. So these are examples of triangles. These are examples of triangles. Now, what's the name of this triangle? Okay, if you said equilateral, you are right. Equilateral triangle. Now, why is it an equilateral triangle? Okay, so you realize that because all the sides are equal. So in equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal. Okay, all the sides are equal, and each interior angle is 60 degrees. So each interior angle measures 60 degrees. Now, what's the name of this one? If you said isosceles triangle, you are right. So isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle. What of this one? It's what? Scalene. Scalene triangle. Scalene triangle. Scalene triangle. Okay, and finally this one. Right-angled triangle. Right-angled triangle. Right-angled triangle. Okay, so these are examples of what? Triangles. Equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, scalene triangle, and right-angled triangle. Okay, good. So we want to look at some of the properties of all triangles. Some of the properties of all triangles. Good. So properties of triangles. Properties of triangle. Now the first one is that the sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So you have to take note of this. The sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. The second property, the sum of the length of any two sides of a triangle is bigger than the third side. So the sum of the length of any two sides, okay, should be what? Bigger than what? The third side. So which means that when you have a triangle and you add two sides, the value that you get should be bigger than what? The other side that you didn't add. Okay, good. Then finally, the longest side of a triangle always faces the biggest angle. So take note of this one, this particular property. We'll use it in our study of trigonometry than the two. Okay, so the longest side of a triangle always faces the biggest angle. The longest side of a triangle always faces the biggest angle. I hope you get it. Good. So these three properties are for every triangle. So once you are a triangle, these properties are part of you. Okay? Good. Now, we'll focus our study of trigonometry on trigonometry of right-angled triangle. So you realize that trigonometry from the two words was the measure of what? Triangles. Okay, good. So we have seen that there are different types or examples of what? Triangles. So we are not going to study the trigonometry of all of them, okay? But we will focus on the trigonometry of what? Right-angled triangle. Right-angled triangle. This is right-angled triangle. We just saw it, okay? So we are going to look at the trigonometry of only this triangle, not these ones, okay? We'll not focus on these ones. We'll focus on what? This one. All right. Good. So let's look at this one. Parts of a right-angled triangle. So as I said, we will focus on the trigonometry of right-angled triangle. Right-angled triangle. Meaning that we want to measure the lengths and the angles of what? Right-angled triangle, and know the relationship between the length of sides and what? The angles of right-angled triangle. Okay, so let's look at the parts of a right-angled triangle. It's very, very important, and you have to pay attention here. Good. So as we said, now we said that in every triangle the sum of interior angles should be what? 180 degrees. Okay, now we have 90 degrees here, so it means that this angle here plus this angle here should also be equal to what? 90. So that 90 plus this 90 will get what? 180 degrees. I hope you get it. Good. Now we also said that in every triangle the longest side faces what? The biggest angle. So in this triangle, the biggest angle is what? 90 degrees. Okay, so these two will be smaller angles. So the biggest angle is what? 90 degrees. So the side of the triangle facing the 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. 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 Okay, hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. So the side facing the 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. So say it after me. Hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. Good. So hypotenuse is the side of a right-angled triangle that faces the what? The 90 degrees angle. Okay, good. Now the other two sides, they get their names based on the reference angle. So these two, they don't have a name until we locate a reference what? Angle. I hope you get it. So these other two sides, this side and this side, they don't have a name until we identify a reference angle. So the moment we identify a reference angle, this side and this side will also have what? Their names. Okay, so if I'm using this angle here as my reference angle, that is, let's put theta there. Okay, theta. Then this side will be called opposite, because it's opposite to the reference what? Angle. So the name of this side will be what? Opposite or opposite. The English people will say opposite. Okay, so opposite or opposite. So this side is called opposite because it's opposite to the what? The reference angle. Okay, and then this side will be called adjacent. Adjacent. Okay, so these are the parts of a right angle triangle. Okay, so the side facing the 90 degrees is called hypotenuse. The side facing the reference angle is called what? Opposite. And then the other side is called what? Adjacent. Adjacent. Okay, so as I said, always these sides get their names based on what? The reference angle. I hope you get it. Good. Now, so no matter how the diagram is drawn, you should be able to what? Locate or identify the parts. So this triangle also, because this side is facing the 90 degrees, this side is called what? Tell me. Hypotenuse. You are right. It is called hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. Okay. Hypotenuse. It's called hypotenuse. Now, what will be the name of this side? Good. So you realize that we can't name this side and this side until we locate what? A reference angle. So if this angle here is our reference angle, let's say alpha, then this side will be called what? Opposite. You are right. So this side will be called opposite or opposite. That is what locally people say, opposite. Opposite. Then this will be called what? Adjacent. 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 Okay. So students, this is how far we'll end our first lesson. Okay, so we've looked at the definition of trigonometry. We've also looked at the definition of triangles. We've also seen examples of what? Triangles. And then we've also looked at properties of what? Triangles. And now we ended on what? The parts of a right angled triangle. So make sure you go through this introductory lesson, get acquainted with everything that we've just learned, and we'll build on it. So the next time we meet, we'll focus more on this right angle triangle. So till we meet again, stay safe, go over this topic, go over this lesson, and read ahead. Bye.